So there are about 24 million e-commerce stores around the globe currently being live, online and selling products to customers, and it is estimated by 2040 that 95% of all purchases will be done online. Although over 1 million of these stores are making less than $1,000 a year. So I think the question really is, what makes a good e-commerce store? Or why do some stores succeed and others fail? So website optimized for conversions is crucial to assure sales and consistent revenue. So as an example, a company doing $30,000 a month with a 1% conversion rate simply upgrades and do a couple tweaks to their website and brings it up to 2%, which, by the way, it really isn't too far to attain, still doubles the revenue. So they're gonna go in an instant from $30,000 a month to $60,000 a month. The average conversion rate for an e-commerce store is anywhere between 1 to 2%, but really, if you're under 3%, you aren't part of the high converting stores. In today's video, I'll be reviewing some of the best e-commerce stores out there and pinpoint exactly what makes them great and give you the exact steps on what they did to ensure that they get high converting websites. So if you're a Shopify store owner or simply a business owner trying to optimize their website to increase their revenue, then stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, my name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency based out in Montreal, Canada, where we help e-commerce businesses with growth strategies. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as well as turn on post notifications to make sure that you are notified whenever I upload a video every week, giving you some more tips for your e-commerce or online business. So today I want to review 3 websites with you guys. So those are 3 sites that I myself have shopped at, or just browsed through in the past, and had some friends, convert through these sites and actually told me, all about how great those websites were, and honestly, they really are. So I want to dive a little deeper into what makes these websites great and really deconstruct, all the elements that they all have in common, as well as their key elements that they each have uniquely that really makes them great. So these websites are all from top tier online companies that for sure thrive online, and that we've all seen, somewhere at some place an ad, or somebody at least, mentioned these websites to us at any given point. But without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. So the first website I have over here is Byte toothpaste bits. So if I'm not mistaken, actually I've read online that the owner is a web designer, so he's one of the guys that made that site. So amazing website overall. And by the way, today I'm going to take a look at all 3 of these sites on the web version, but it's really important to know that pretty much at this point 90% of most e-commerce stores traffic come from mobile devices. So you want to make sure that these sites are built for mobile first, and all 3 of these are amazingly well done on mobile devices. But just for the sake of it today, I'm going to review them on the desktop version. So Byte toothpaste bit. So as you can see, as soon as you land, you've got a clear, bold, statement. So meet your routine reinvented. Then you have just a bit of a subheading here talking about what they do. So the only plastic free and clean way to replace the paste you've used your whole life. So just off the bat, you know what they're doing, you know what they're about, and the only call to action or only thing that you can pretty much do here is shop now. So, and then you start scrolling, you've got some authority, they're seen on Forbes, Oprah magazine, the People, BuzzFeed. So there's a bunch of stuff. So without going much further, actually, if we just deconstruct what's here already, so it's super clear that there's 3 main things that they have at the top, and that you'll see that most of the websites I'm going to show today have is a strong headline. So just super simple, tells what they're about. Then a good subheading that says a little bit more in depth what they're about. Third thing is a call to action. So essentially the only button that these websites have is shop now. Why? Because I see a lot of businesses having learn more or discover a new collection, but really the only thing you ever want to have at the top, whatever, if you have a new drop, a new collection, whatever that is simply a shop now button. You just want to invite people to shop now and already sort of prepare them for a conversion at some point. So you want to essentially show them that they are here to shop and they're not here to simply browse and do other things that, yes, they're most likely going to browse. And if you design your website in the proper way, you will bring them through essentially the necessary process for them to take a decision. But essentially you already want to prime the end decision here with a shop now call to action. And then other thing they're doing here is building authority. So they're already positioning themselves as a authority figure within their market. So you got to assume that everyone that lands on your site doesn't know about you. So these guys have no idea what you're doing, no idea what you're selling, so they may be landing on your site by accident, but you still want to keep them there and make them interested. So you do that essentially by having, just like what Byte does, just a strong statement at the top, so that, you know, sort of piques their interest, and then you want to entice them to scroll down and then continue looking at your content. And as you scroll over here, they got a detailed USP, so that's their unique selling proposition. Also a point that's going to come back in the other websites I'm going to show you. So we make your daily routine more sustainable with products that are plastic free, cruelty free, and made with clean ingredients. So essentially it's 3 main benefits over here. They're talking about their statement as a whole, so this is what makes them different from other toothpaste companies online. Then 2 things that we see over here on the website and are much better, I think, on mobile, because they, you know, pop out a little bit more, is the chatbot here bottom right. So you can click on that, have a chat. So this is super great for the user experience, as essentially, you know, if somebody has a question, it's most likely going to happen on your website, so they won't wait, you know, until they leave the website to ask that question. So you want to make sure, you know, a chatbot like this can definitely help in some cases. It could be as simple as having your messenger, you know, bot over here that I know a lot of people do, and allows people to send you a quick Facebook message right through your website. So that's, you know, that's a good option to have on your site. And then another thing here is that, as you can see bottom left, they've got an emoji of a hen that just keeps waving at you. So if you click on that, you know, this allows you to essentially subscribe to their newsletter and win a free 4 months supply. So you basically want to get something out of people that are on your site. So there's a lot of things that you can do to do that, but definitely everyone won't purchase on your site, you know, the first time they land on this, and maybe they may actually visit your website a couple times before they do purchase. But if you end up grabbing an email, you know, grabbing some information about your customers, this is also a win, as you can then later on either retarget them through Facebook ads or with email marketing campaigns. So here, you know, as soon as you keep scrolling, you've got essentially a bunch of their collections slash, you know, products individually listed over here. And as you can see, there's a lot of animations on that website. So as you hover onto anything, there's a bunch of pictures, you know, and GIFs, animations that are showing about what the products are, or, you know, using the product or showcasing the product as a whole. So this already gives a bit of a feel and the look of what would that product look in my hands as a customer. So this is something that's Joovv also does amazingly well, that I'm going to show you in a couple seconds. But definitely, you know, having GIFs is something we've seen performing crazy well for some clients. So you want to have these on your product pages also, definitely. So let's say you're a fashion company, it could be just a GIF of the model, you know, turning around with the products, or simply doing a little bit of a pose with the product. You know, if you're having, let's say, something that you can use like this here, so it's showcasing what is the feel you want to give out with this product, or how to use that product just really quickly. So skincare, let's say, could be somebody, you know, just applying the as an example, a moisturizer, and you can just have a quick GIF of that on your product page, and just works wonders. And then if we go back at the top, navigation is super simple. There's literally only 3 things that you can do. There's shop, about, and sustainability. So most of the time people will end up, you know, wanting to shop on your site. So it's super important to have a clear and just super simple navigation. You want to eliminate the amount of clicks that people have to do in order to purchase something. So here, if somebody goes through shop, and then that by default it brings them to collections all, so it brings people to all collections, you know, all products included. So it's what you got over there. One great thing, by the way, that they have over here that you can see is one of those little overlays that there's basically an animation for that product. So a bunch of Shopify plugins are able to do that, but that's definitely something that attracts, you know, your customers' attention. So for now, I'm gonna leave Byte be. We're probably gonna come back to it in just the next few minutes, but let's hop on a second website. So here I've got Joovv, as mentioned earlier. This is a website essentially that what Joovv is selling over there is light therapy devices. So I've got a friend of mine that actually purchased one of these devices in the past couple of months. But with that being said, you know, similar top that you have to the other website that I showed you earlier, so Bytes. Essentially here, there's a strong and big and bold headline. There's a small sub headline, and the only call to action that you've got is shop now. There's also play video, much smaller in white, you know, black and white, so it's harder to see. But the thing that really stands out here is the shop now call to action. And then what do you know, the second thing that you see on the website is also their features. So they're also building authority. You know, second thing that you see is all about what they're doing. And earlier I mentioned having GIFs or, you know, product videos. that's literally the first thing that you see here at the top of the site. This is how to use their products, where your products are actually, actually fit into the, families, lifestyles, or, for different sort of audiences. But nonetheless, this is what you got, first things first on the website. So definitely something to note here. As you start scrolling, just like with Byte, you've got the products listed over here. So you've got most of their products there, shop all products right there. And then as you scroll, you've got some benefits, skin health, inflammation, performance and recovery, sleep optimization. So this essentially is their USP. So what makes them different, what makes them unique, and what is their company about. Then they've also got some amazing interactive elements, just like Byte that had all those little animations on the website. Here you can see how it looks like during the day versus at night for their devices. So here this is day mode with a review right there, and then as you turn off the lights, you can see what it would look like essentially with lights turned off with their devices on. So something super great about Joovv that I want to make sure that I cover here is their product pages. They've got amazing product pages, and they treat their product pages as standalone pages. So essentially somebody could literally land on one of these pages and still get all the information they need about the product, the company, and other products that this company does. So it's super important also for you to do that on your end, because you don't know where people are coming from, and you don't necessarily know and control where people will land on. So essentially you want to treat each page as if this customer, again, has never seen your brand or never landed on your website, and you want to make sure that they learn as much as possible in a good and structured way on your product page. So looking at Joovv over here, you've got your product right there. Let me actually switch to, I believe the Solo is one of the ones, or I think it's the Mini. That's it. So Mini has that GIF as mentioned earlier, somebody just showing the product, showing how to mount it and how small it sort of looks compared to a grown man's size. You see a bunch of different angles of the product. You can definitely zoom in on all of these pictures. You've got the price right there. You have the description of the product. You have all the options that you can do. It's super easy to know, what stands out here. It's the add to cart button. So again, only one button that really stands out and makes you want to click on it more than others. So add to cart right there. As you scroll, there's all those core features and all those, basically all the reviews and everything that you would need to know about a product fits right there in this right column. And then this is where, super important. If somebody never landed on that website, as they scroll, they know, what Joovv is about, because there's this FAQ right there. And then there's all the benefits listed here about their technology. So literally they treat this product page as if it was a standalone page. And now going back to the home page just to check the navigation again, there's literally 3. Again, 3 seems to be the magic number. There's 3 here at the left: shop, learn, and community. If you go to shop, it's super simple. Either if you click on that, it brings you to shop all, or you can see most of their products here by default. Now, if we pivot to Mate, which is the third website that I want to show you today. So I'm gonna basically go about the same thing, covering what they have in common, and then I'll finish things off by explaining what makes it great, and just essentially why they all have the same things on their website done in their own way and own branding. So as you can see, Mate over here, again, big header. What they're missing, and what I'd say that the other 2 brands are doing much better, is the headline, what they're about, because here all you see is their new collection, but nonetheless still a shopping call to action here. So shop new, so pretty much the same call to action that the other 2 brands have. As you scroll, their USP, they're what they are about, and their unique, selling proposition. So organic essentials, clean from seed to skin, sustainably made in LA. So then you've got this famous, bestsellers and new products. Same thing that all 3 stores had so far. As you scroll, also, what makes them different. So this is their benefits, in they're essentially saying what they are not about, which essentially gives you a little bit of an idea of what they are about. So here, as you can see, we like our clothes, like our relationships, non-toxic. So essentially, this is something that probably won't make people laugh, looking at this over here, but has all the things that they are not about, what they do not have in their clothing. They have authority here, just like any other website so far. And essentially, if we just quickly hop onto any of those product pages, there is, super simple to navigate through. The only big button that really stands out here is this one right there, which is essentially tells you to select the size and then to add to your cart. And then as you scroll, you've got all the details you need. And here, what they're doing really great, and that I forgot to mention for all the other stores so far, but they essentially invite you to pair their products with other of their products. So here, essentially, they allow you to pair this, and they say style with this other, essentially short right there. Or essentially, as you scroll, there's a bunch of other products listed here from essentially they're saying you might also like them based on what you've seen. So something super simple. Again, a lot of plugins or just strictly Shopify off the bat allows you to do stuff like this. This invites, people to not only buy one item, but to increase their average order value by adding more stuff to the cart. And the last thing I want to go back to, like all other shops so far, is the navigation. Super simple. There's four options here on their side, on the left side, and I'm always showing the left side because by intuition, everyone will look at that side first to navigate. Right side, you would normally want to put what's a little less important or put these at the bottom in navigation, but nonetheless, top navigation right there. If you go to shop, same thing. If you click shop, they bring you to all their products or collections. So far, all websites that we've taken a look at are doing the same thing as soon as you click on shop. And then looking at that over here, you can navigate through different collections a lot more easily when you look at what they have available right there. So going back to Bytes, if we sort of recap, what every website had so far is a super simple navigation. So 3 or 4 options max, top left side for desktop. Same thing on mobile, having, just 3 or 4 options for people to click on. So super simple. Most of the time, if they click on shop, you bring them to all of your products, and then they can choose, subcategories, or within your shop, essentially in your navigation, you have a bit of a drop down with your different navigations or categories, I should say, offered to them. Second thing is a strong headline as well as a good sub headline. So what you want to have is something that tells people what you're about. Again, act like they do not know about your brand and do not know whatever you're doing. So a strong and bold statement that just says in a couple words, what you're about, and then you detail that a little more with your sub headline. So this bold headline of yours, you want to keep that super short and sweet. Normally under 5 words is the ideal. And then this sub headline, you want to keep that to 1 really short sentence. Now, third thing that we have is the one and only call to action that you have at the top, which is a shop now call to action. It's the only thing you really should have. So invite and prep people to shop on your website. Then you've got authority. So all of these sites on the homepage, the second thing that they pretty much all show is where they were featured. What big names can they drop? Where had they had articles written about them, or blog posts about their brand. This helps new visitors essentially build a little bit more rapport and trust, especially with this brand, as again, they may not know about you. So seeing those big names that they for sure know about already helps them trust your brand. Then the first thing they all do is have a couple of their products listed. So they have those bestsellers or new products. So they invite people to shop directly from the homepage in these little square pictures that essentially people can shop on straight from the homepage. Then I didn't cover it for all sites, but all websites invited people and new customers to subscribe to their email newsletter, because as I said earlier, if you don't end up converting these new customers into buyers, then at least you can grab an email from them, give them an offer that they can rely on for a later purchase, but you can convert them back with either Facebook ads or you can retarget them with your email campaigns. Then each brand is making super clear their USP. So what is unique about them? What makes them different and stand out in the market? Byte, what makes them unique apart, from other toothpaste companies? If we look at Mate, what makes them different from other fashion brands? And Juve, what makes their product, different from other light therapy devices? Then they all have some good animations. They all have little interactive elements. Would it be, flashing colors, something that, spins on the website, some GIFs, for product pages, whatever that is. They all have animations that give some interaction to the user essentially and makes them feel a little bit more entertained when looking at your site. Then they treat each product page as a standalone page. So all of these pages have, again, one and only call to action that invites people to shop. And essentially in these, they pretty much all have reviews. So then people can leave reviews on the products, and that helps you build further authority with all of your products. And all of them have, FAQs or benefits and details about their products and invite you to pair them with other of their key products that can complete your whole solution. So they help you increase your average order value. Essentially, this helps also inform the customer better about what your brand is if they just simply land on that product page. So I definitely invite you to go ahead and take a look for yourself at all three of the websites that I shown today. Play with these sites on mobile devices, play with these websites on a PC, play with them on your laptop, your tablet, whatever that is. See how they interact, with different mediums. Especially Byte has some cool animations that are only on mobile versus only on desktop. So the website, changes based on what medium you see. But definitely those are websites that are made for mobile first. They're amazing, performers on mobile devices, and yours should be too. So now that you know what makes a good e-commerce website, it's time to implement some of these features and tips into your own website. So Shopify offers a wide variety of options and customization features, or they also have their apps marketplace that allows you to further customize your website and add a bunch of new features to your site, such as a little overlay for the products that we've seen earlier on the Byte shopping page. Now, if you're unsure about the best ways to optimize your own website, or you've already optimized your own website and would like to take that to the next level, I invite you to go ahead and go down below in the description, click on the first link and book your own short 15-minute demo call with myself, and we're gonna be able to check together if you're a good fit for our e-commerce marketing program. On that note, make sure you check out other videos on the channel that give you a bunch of useful tips for your e-commerce business, as well as running Facebook ads for your business. And I'll see you guys in next week's video. Peace.